things haven't I talked about?
Obviously.
What? Oh yeah, live from the Colorado Trail. We are giving you our gear loadouts for this trip. Normally we shoot these in the studio, but we thought it'd be fun to mix it up.
And we didn't have any time and we're too lazy.
And we that as well. So we're out live. Well, you're not watching this live. We are out.
We're not live, actually.
Segment 9 of the Colorado Trail, and we're gonna go through our setups, my tent setup and Andy's hammock setup that we're using on this trip. This is a 5-day, 4-night, about 50 to 60 mile trip we're doing through the Colorado Trail. If you recall, we were actually out here 2 years ago. And we did about, I don't know, 90, 95 miles. So we came back and let's talk about what we brought.
Yep.
But first, even though we're out in the mountains, you still need to subscribe to the podcast.
For the love of God.
You still need to subscribe to this channel. If you want some merch, check out our store.
Please buy merch.
If you thought because we were in the woods, we were not going to plug that, you were wrong.
Look how great our backpacking merch is. I have a hat on.
Yeah, hey,
it works.
You can buy that.
You can buy this hat, it works.
Bryce, rapid fire, setup, go.
Rapid fire. Curve 40 liter from Light AF. I got the Deschutes by 6 Moon Designs tarp with the Serenity net tent inside, Thermarest Neo Air sleeping pad, and a Hammock Gear Burrow 20 degree Econ.
Are you loving what you brought so far?
Yeah, no complaints.
No complaints?
Far. Yeah.
Scott, 30 seconds.
I'm eating out of my Evernew pasta pot, cooked on a Toaks titanium alcohol burner, fueled by Endeavor Brewing and Spirits, grain alcohol. That's pretty much my cooking setup. I'm rocking an MSR through hiker tarp with a little single person bug bivvy, a homemade synthetic quilt using Apex insulation, 5 ounce per square yard, and a C2 Summit sleeping pad. Got a Mountain Smith Zerk 40
nice
pack back here, and a whole system of clothing and layers in lovely Endeavor Capeline merch.
Shout out to Endeavor Brewery, check it out in Columbus.
All right, for this trip I got the Dutchware Chameleon, which is behind me with the bug net on it. I've got a 20 degree Enlightened Equipment top quilt, and I've got I think this is a 30 degree Enlightened Equipment under quilt. I forget the name of it. It's one of the newer models that they came out. I can't remember what it's called. I'm using my Z-Packs Arc Haul for my pack, which is fantastic.
Why'd you bring that?
Because I couldn't fit everything in my 35 liter pack, unfortunately. Cooking, I've just got a titanium mug, and I'm actually carrying Kevin's MSR Pocket Rocket. Everybody else is doing alcohol, but I brought the canister stove. Outside of that, that's the main thing. I'm carrying a lighter weight tarp. I'm carrying my, normally I carry the Light AF tarp, but I'm carrying the Hammock Gear 12-foot tarp. Simply because it's lighter and it's so dry out here. You might get a little bit of mist in the afternoon, but generally I'm not even gonna bother putting up the tarp. So that's why the smaller, more minimalist one worked a little bit better. Outside of that, nothing else really fancy. Gear's been working really well so far. All right.
How about your clothes?
Talk about my clothes?
Yeah.
I'm wearing shorts and a long sleeve t-shirt. So nothing fancy with clothes, just long sleeves because of exposure, so I don't get fried. Let's go see what Kevin's got.
All right, my setup. So as you can see, for this trip, I decided to do the tent and not the hammock, although the hammock sites, the campsites we've been at have been fairly hammock friendly, so hammock might not have been too bad, but I just was trying to save weight wherever I could, so I brought the Z-Packs Ultiplex. I wanted to just show you, so it's taken me like probably a year to finally figure this tent out. I have to raise the pole much higher than I always think I do, but man, that's a pretty roomy tent in there for a one-person tent. So I'm really happy with this pitch. And I do use the pullouts, so I used 9 or 10 full stakes, but man, it really is for 15 ounces. It's a great tent. The total sleep setup is I have the Thermarest Neo Air Topo Luxe sleeping pad, and I have something new that I'm probably gonna do a first look video out of. I have the Big Agnes Sidewinder 20 sleeping bag, and if you don't know what that is, it just came out. And it's a sleeping bag that's built specifically for side sleepers. So I'm gonna shoot a first look video of that as well. So far so good, 2 nights in. I opted to bring the Z-Packs Arc Haul. Honestly, on this trip, I brought like 4 pounds of camera gear, which was a lot.
So what are we at?
All right. Like it normally
What are we at? My guess
According
is,
to the scale.
my guess is
stays
28,
longer.
29.
It's why sex is better at altitude.
What?
36.
36 pounds!
36.5.
Nice, that's a new
And
record.
that's not including your
So
camera
yeah,
or
probably
your
36,
phone.
37, yeah.
This one, ready? 29.21, 28.9.
You even have the M50 on.
Yeah!
30.45, 30.5,
Okay,
30.6.
good call. Scott, so you're the lightest, Scott. What are you at?
I'm gonna guess 24.
He's been weighing his stuff all week.
Wait, are you
He's
carrying a
gonna
beer?
have-
Hold on.
5.
Yeah, put some beer weight in there.
Okay. 25 with the beer
At 2 pounds.
in there.
What about that little guy?
27.
Okay,
27.
all right.
Beer.
I win.
26.
And I didn't want to push it with the Light AF Curve 40. You know, Bryce is rocking the Light AF Curve 40. He was able to make it work. And then also with 5 days of food, it would have been tight to do this in the Light AF pack for me. And it's kind of a good thing I didn't bring it, because we've had some dry camp water carries where I've been putting like upwards of almost 40 pounds in this pack, and we have to carry water to camp, and it's just been great. My smart water bottle is like normal. Something different that I haven't done in a while for this trip specifically is I've actually brought the cat can stove.
And I'm doing something I haven't done in a long time. I brought the cat can stove. And there's a reason I brought the cat can stove, because Scott, in that little bottle, right there, gave us some denatured, no, gave us some grain alcohol.
So Andy brought the Pocket Rocket, I brought the Zelf Fancy Feast cat can stove. In terms of clothing, nothing super crazy. I brought the gaiters, a buff. I did bring a long sleeve like sun t-shirt, because in Colorado it's just like super exposed out here. I am wearing the Ultra Lone Peak 3.5s that I haven't worn in a while, just to like finish them off. And then of course the Patagonia 9 Trails shorts that we love so much, and then a bunch of just Patagonia like quick drying stuff. I'm just kind of like building for exposure out here, because you normally when you're on the CT and you go over these passes, you're like super exposed. So just kind of building that into the kit. So for the camera setup, I've got the EOS R6, and I've got this 28-inch carbon fiber tripod, and I also brought the drone. So that's where the 4 pounds came. This trip's kind of a tune-up or tweaking for the TRT trip we're doing in about 2 months, and I just want to test out some things. I don't think I'm going to bring the big tripod on that trip. 4 pounds of camera gear it's just way too much to carry. Also brought my puffy and a pair of merino wool tights. We kind of planned for temps to be in the mid to upper 30s at night on this trip, and so far that's kind of what they've been. So kind of like a 30-degree setup. The sleeping bag is technically a 20-degree bag, and the Thermarest Topo Luxe is kind of rated to freezing. So like a 30-degree setup in terms of clothing, quilts, and sleeping pad. I'm not going to go through food. We did an entire loadout video on the food. Check that out. I'll put a link up on the screen. We did plan food a little bit differently for this trip versus other trips, so check that out if you want to see us go through the total food setup. But that is it for my setup. That's both of our setups. You know, we tried to go through them pretty fast, just kind of high level, talk about why we brought certain things on this trip. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the trip video of this trip to see like actually how it went. Some crazy stuff has already happened. Bryce almost died. A couple other things.
My quilts almost floated away.
Andy almost lost his quilts downriver in a creek. So, all right, anything else?
No.
All right, everybody.
See ya.
Bye-bye.